You are about to really regret a decision that you have been making every single day for at least the last 5 years. And I can't really say every day, but every few months, you have made a decision because of a word or a term that comes out in conversation or on the media, and you have either dismissed it, laughed at it, mocked it, or not even, and this is the most dangerous one right here, the fourth one, not simply taking a few minutes just to ponder it and why it's about to go parabolic. In a world where we all talk about NVIDIA stock, yet I don't know a whole lot of people that bought NVIDIA stock when it was a handful of dollars, right? We talk about it when it's already way up there. Or Apple stock. I owned Apple stock. I had $60,000 worth of it at 60 bucks. I sold it a little bit after. I made an incredible profit, but now look at it. I also had Priceline stock at $2. Sold it at $3. Made a great profit in a short term, but now Priceline stock is what, like $2,000 a share? Well, about in 2016, 2017, I learned that lesson once and for all. And I learned what real, true wealth creation was. And that is finding something that is that next big thing, buying it and not selling it until a very real point, not just 100, 200, even some of the stocks this last year that I've sold at 300-400%. There is one asset class that I will not be selling anytime soon. Now I do buy and sell it and trade it, but I'm always constantly taking the profits from my winnings and I'm moving it into long-term storage. And for the last 5 years, most people, now I'm going to do a little shout out right now. Anybody that's invested in crypto right now, hashtag the project that you like the most. Put it down below in the comment section. The reason why I say that is because what I'm telling you is that you are missing the opportunity to purchase Bitcoin and specific other cryptocurrency projects. And just so you know, I believe 98% of them are completely worthless junk. But I'm telling you, you are missing the boat at buying them at these prices. Now, I'm going to play a video in a second that I just put out, and it's actually not getting a ton of airplay, but you need to hear this gentleman that I was speaking to. Someone that was a subscriber of the channel that I found incredible talent from, and he has made a lot of people a lot of money in the last 12 months because they simply listened to him. But I want to remind you that it's important not to be a simpleton. And I use that word because that was an insult that was hurled at me by a man that I worked with at a restaurant. We were both food servers, and he used to call me a simpleton. And quite frankly, I had an idea of the word until a few days later I went and actually looked it up. I knew it was an insult. And this man came from academia, and he esteemed his education. Ironically, his bachelor and master's degree didn't get him past the restaurant we both worked at. But also I've seen that same sort of personality come out with other firefighters I worked with. They had masters and bachelors and all this amazing letters behind their name on a degree, yet we had the same job. And the same people that mocked me when I bought my first Bitcoin at $500, and I tried to get my buddies and myself talked into going and buying it when it was $40, I was the fool, not them. Mock me today for investing in Bitcoin at now, today, $72,000. But real quick, just to throw out the basic definition of simpleton, it's a noun. A foolish or gullible person. Well, what makes someone foolish? The only thing that makes someone foolish, I believe, is they speak about things they don't know anything about. Or before they can comprehend or contemplate a subject or what's going on in the world, they speak or they come to rush to judgment. That's my personal opinion about it. So I'm going to show you a video that I came out with today, and I think it's very important that people need to listen to what's going on here. This happened in the last 3 weeks. And everyone that paid attention to this guy made a ton of money. All right, here we go. And 20K. If you agree with that, type 1. If you think that's crazy, type 2. And to everybody that's typing 2, get ready for this. He also says, not sure the timeline, but that's the price targets. Now I'm going to have him on to show you what he posted a month ago on X. Joe, how are you doing?
Oh, doing great. Really excited to be here speaking with you once again about Bitcoin. And back on the 6th of October, let me put it here. You know how we are about those timestamps don't lie. Anyway, the 6th of October, right in here, Bitcoin end of October, price 75,000 plus. And these techniques, knowing the cycles and the charts and what we, teach our members, that's how we were going to, that's how we were able to predict this and call it.
Yeah. Now, I want to share really quick. You notice on this screen, he did this tweet on the October 6th, right? Check this out. I'm going to share my screen real quick, and I'm going to show you where it was exactly that day, because there are people that were making fun of this. October 6th, Bitcoin was at just barely under 62,000, $61,906 to be exact. And now it has ran since the October 6th to where it is now at 72,800, and we still have 2 days left. Now, why is this important to work on technical analysis? There's so many people that have wanted to get into Bitcoin, but they're afraid to do it. All right. I know that. So as I'm playing that video, I can't say a name. Well, the guy's name is Mike. Makes an interesting comment. Well, the Ninja do a video and Bitcoin crashes to 31,000. Mike must not be paying attention, because I do lots of videos that talk about when crypto is going to go down, and I make videos when cryptos are going to go up. And then I remind people the timestamps, just like Joe did. There are a lot of people that talk about things they know nothing about. The long term, the 5 to 7 year move for Bitcoin is $1 million. Quite frankly, it's one of the easiest statements or predictions I can ever make. Please download this and timestamp it. It'll be easy to predict. As a matter of fact, it'll probably happen well before that. The reason why I know that is because of the adoption rate. And check out a couple of stories. And I want to throw this out there. Because of Joe crushing it on his call, we did a sale, and it's only, I think there's like 24 hours left, or 22 hours. It's only like a 24-hour sale on the Crypto Trader Pro for $199. If you'd like to check that out and you want to wade into, if your brand's making new, there's also a course attached to that called the Bitcoin Accelerator 101, which teaches you all the basics. But I think people are going to really seriously, and as a matter of fact, ask anybody here in the comments that have taken the course, what do you think about it? Any of my students, type in what you think about it. If you don't take some time to learn this, you're going to be bummed. Check out these stories. Wuhan, another country using Bitcoin to escape poverty. This is becoming a trend. More and more countries are figuring out what this decentralized ledger is and how important it is that there's only so many Bitcoin ever going to be created in history. Having invested in startups for over 20, it says here, the Bitcoin engagement in Wuhan has been rumored for a while. A few weeks ago, we learned about mining operations in the country leading to significant Bitcoin stack of around 13 Bitcoin. That is a lot. Wuhan is leading the world with a Bitcoin stack worth around 30% of its GDP. That's crazy. To think of what some of us did when Bitcoin was $100, $200, $500, and we are already investors. This has a long way to go. Let's dig in a little bit more than that. And it is impressive, because what the author is telling you, even though 13 Bitcoin might not seem like a lot to you for a country, matter of fact, I know it's a lot for most Bitcoin owners, not people that are early adopters, but it's a lot based on the GDP of the country, right? We're seeing other countries doing this. But right now, we've got the front runner for the presidential election, Donald Trump, and he all of a sudden took a step back and said, "Hey, what is this thing? Can I look into this? Why is it such a big deal?" And now he's screaming at the rooftops about Bitcoin and how he wants to see this get bigger. He's putting Elon Musk into this governmental it's pretty much just gonna be a firing line. And Elon Musk is a big fan of crypto too. It says here, Bitcoin hit 73,000.6 as fundamentals suggest new all-time highs are around the corner. This is interesting because my friend Joe is a very talented technical analysis TA trader. I've been trading since 1998. I was trading a lot of crypto in 2017, 2018, and now I've stepped back. I still trade, but it's gotten to the point where you can only move so much. And I wanted to highlight his skills. And so I met him and we put that course together and we made a lot of people a lot of money. That's just the truth. One of the ways you make people money is you teach them how not to lose their money. And in trading, says a lot. And he came out and stamped, he does this all the time. Timestamps don't lie, he calls them. He timestamps a call and then he screenshots it and goes and stores it away. And then he can refer back to it later and say, look, it's still there. I said that Bitcoin was going to go from 62,000 to 75,000 from October 6th to October 31st. And we're about to touch that with 2 days left in the month, trading month. He's absolutely crushing it. And there are actual signs of what's going to happen next. And one of the ways we can look at it, when you separate technical analysis from fundamentals, if you look at the fundamentals, like I just said, there are countries that are adopting it. There are countries that are buying it. There are countries that are building policies to allow miners to mine it. It's a big deal. Russia is going in like crazy. Trump's even said, we have got to beat them to this or they're going to win. And it's not about a winning or losing like we're playing chess or, well, actually we are. It's not like it's ping pong. It is chess. Because when people actually truly understand, there's a lot of gold bugs out there and silver bugs that think they know it all because they learned some fundamentals about gold and silver. But you got to realize there's still more of it in the ground. And as the price goes higher, do you know what happens? People rush to mine gold and silver and they pull more of it out. And sure, in the short term, prices spike. In the long term, if more supply comes online, it absolutely lowers the price. That's actually how markets work on the most basic fundamental levels. Crypto, it's different. You see, once you read the code, and it's actually really easy to figure it out, you don't even have to be a coder to figure out the fundamentals of the code in Bitcoin. There's only so many that will ever be mined. Every about 4 years or so, the difficulty doubles, which means the rewards cut in half. And when you add the diminishing returns and the cost of electricity going up due to inflation, and then you add on top of it more and more people figuring it out and buying it, the demand outweighs everything else, and eventually it always goes up. Sure, there's drops down. And 3 times this year, I have publicly made and taken the criticism because I like the money more than I care about people's thoughts, is I have said, hey, I've sold all of my XRP, or I've sold all of my Bitcoin, or all of my Solana. And within 3 to 4 weeks, I bought it all back, between 6 and 25% more of it because of those subsequent drops. The 6% one was totally off. I should have nailed it for 15, but I got a little greedy. Well, my point being is, all I care about is winning. And that's really all you should care about. But in order to win, you've got to do 2 things. You've got to start hanging out with winners, and you've got to start thinking differently, speaking less, and listening more when you don't know something. But the one thing when it comes to crypto that's really interesting to me is people love to talk about crap they don't know about. And so rather than me go on, and yeah, I'm going to make money from selling courses just like Joe, but we would never give that away. Why would I give away the golden goose for free? That's just the truth. This is how it works. I didn't get to sit down with wealthy people unless I bought them lunch, bought them coffee. I think it's important, though, that you do something. You read, you could get all this information for free on the internet. Just start diving into learning about crypto, Bitcoin, solid projects. What's the difference between centralized and decentralized blockchains? And wade into it. Wade into it. Did you know? Do me a favor and be totally blunt, honest. Say I didn't know. If you did not realize that you could buy as little as $1 worth of Bitcoin, you could buy $1 worth of Bitcoin. You could actually buy less than that, but with transaction fees, it just kill you. Do me a favor, type that down below. Did you realize that? The reason why it's really important to understand that is because I had a friend once. He's got a really prestigious job. He's super important. One day I came to him and I said, when are you finally going to wake up and buy some Bitcoin? Back then it was like, I don't know, $16,000. And he leans over to me and he says, you know when I'm going to buy Bitcoin? He thought he was really smart. He lost this one. I'll buy Bitcoin when I can buy a whole Bitcoin. Now, he went to a very prestigious school that's actually highly ranked in math. And that was part of his background with math. He failed to understand the law of percentages. That if Bitcoin doubles in price, if you own $1 worth of Bitcoin or a full Bitcoin, you still doubled your money. Today, he still doesn't own any Bitcoin. Why? Because he can't afford to buy a whole Bitcoin. The choice is yours. When I started the channel, Bitcoin was around 3,000, 3,200 bucks. Gold, I think, was a little over 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 bucks. And we're going to start coming out with those videos too. The ones where I go, hey, before you know it, Bitcoin's going to be 100 grand next few years. You should probably buy some now. And then you're going to get to go back to those original videos where we edit them and stuff like that. But then you're going to be able to go see the comments. And I hope that you get to the point where you go, I don't want to be like the people in the comment section, like that guy, the wild chicken guy that says, will the ninja do a video at 30,000? The answer is, heck yeah, I will. But you know what I'll be doing? It's not going to be, oh, I'm sad. I'd go buy more because I understand the fundamentals. I also understand that certain groups and companies smack down these prices. Thank heavens, I sort of figured that I'll go out. And it doesn't stress me out. Does today stress me out? I've got more cash in my trading account. Am I freaking out? No. I got a good size. Okay, size. It's small. Whatever. Don't pay attention to the long-term hold. But my cash account's sitting there and I'll wait for another pullback and I'll buy some more. And then I'll put a little bit more into my long-term hold. It's like real estate. Do you want to play the long game or the short game? Which one are you better at? Are you going to be the tin cup of investing? Or are you going to just lay it up all the time? Or do you want to dive in a little bit and learn the fundamentals of something and then realize once you learn the fundamentals and you could actually explain why something will go up or go down in value over time, then you have more conviction when you're trading or investing. Two totally separate things. Look, I'll put the link out. We're only doing a one-day sale on it. Crypto Trader Pro is 199 bucks. It's 80% off. And if you've never touched Bitcoin, there's an upsell for the Bitcoin Accelerator 101, where Dylan, an amazing author in the Bitcoin space and instructor, teaches an incredible course to tell you all of the basics. So if you want to check that out, I think that's 79 bucks. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you aren't one of those people. All I want to do is hang out with people that are winning. Part of winning is trying. And then when you try, sometimes you succeed, sometimes you fail, but I can guarantee you this, we can de-risk the amount of times you fail because it's all about how much you jump in with. That's where most people fail. That's where I've failed before, and I learned that. 2017, I saw $10,000 turn into 100. I pulled 40 grand out, bought some silver. That 60 grand left turned into $1 million bucks. That is a real story. But I also watched that $1 million go back down to about 150, 200. So it wasn't that much fun. I should have sold more at $1 million. I did sell some at those high prices. But my point being is that's the gist of it. I am one of those guys that saw that happen. I also saw myself go to a net worth of $1 million when I was in my mid 20s because of real estate. So I've seen multiple cycles come through in different asset classes and the ability to make great money. But the biggest thing too is you have to put yourself around smart people. I had no one when I was doing real estate, and I had one person to talk to. Ironically, is the person that talked me into starting this YouTube channel, and when I did crypto. And I'm really grateful I had him too, to be able to bounce ideas off. Even though he would tell you I was the one that was the hard charger, he was great to hear, bounce ideas off of. So I hope you guys don't sit back too much longer. I think you could see a pullback here. 30,000 bucks would be a joke. Actually, it would be a gift, but I don't see that in the books. Hope you got something out of this. Now, also, lastly, remember, when the stock markets tank, crypto does too, but so does gold and silver. Everything does. People run to the bonds and the dollars. So that's why you always have a little cash on the side, sort of like Warren Buffett. All right, I think I've said too much. The Economic Ninja is out.